guys, Sam here, and welcome back to another episode of our Barcelona Career Mode series. And as per usual, we will start today's episode with a press conference. So without further ado, let's get into it and let's answer your guys' questions. The first question comes from James Ramakuba, and he asks, is there anyone you wish to sell or maybe even buy this upcoming winter transfer window? Now, as I stated in the last press conference, Luis Enrique is not really looking for a specific player in this transfer window. We're going to play this transfer window by ear. We're not going to be making moves for specific players. We're going to be waiting and seeing who is potentially wanting to leave their club, and we'll be monitoring players' situations as the transfer window goes in. We do not have a list of players going into January. Logic Gamer asks, how does Luis feel about Bravo as he's been letting in goals in the couple of months? Could we see a new number one? Now, Claudio has been in and out as far as form goes. He's been playing fantastic most games. We're not really looking to replace Bravo as the number one right now this season. However, we can confirm that this is probably going to be Claudio Bravo's last season as the main goalkeeper, and he fully understands that. What he's going to do in his future, we don't know. If he wants to stay here as a backup goalkeeper, he's welcome to do that. If he feels he's good enough to move to another club, we're going to allow that. Right now, we feel like we deserve to give Claudio Bravo the last half of this season after his fantastic Copa America Centenario and his okay first half of the season. Najomo Baxter asks, Luis Enrique, with the likes of Messi, Neymar and Suarez leaving the club, are you still going for the Champions League, or is it about rebuilding and focusing on the La Liga title? Now, at the start of the season, it definitely was about rebuilding. It was definitely about focusing on the league and still being a force and a name that people recognize at the top of the La Liga table. And it was a league that we thought we could definitely challenge for. But recently, our performances have been amazing. We've had a really good first half of the season. We're feeling really confident. And right now, there's nothing to tell us that we can't do it. There's nothing stopping us from going all the way. So we'll be fighting in multiple competitions. The squad depth isn't at its best, but we have fantastic players across all the positions. So if the players are willing to push, then we could potentially be challenging for the Champions League as well. Thank you all so much for your questions. I'm trying not to use everybody's questions to try and keep these press conferences fresh and try and keep the questions new. So if your question didn't get answered in today's press conference, then make sure you ask it again, or make sure you ask a question similar or a different question. Just make sure you keep asking. I don't want to use 6-7 questions and then we run out of questions to ask. I'm only going to use a couple, but make sure you leave your comments and your questions in the comment section down below, and you'll have a chance of being in the next press conference. Right, here we are at the start of January, and as you know, we are going to play Real Madrid in today's episode in the first game. I do want to address the table there. It looks different from the end of last episode. Silly me, I forgot to save after the end of last episode. I forgot to save my file, and I play some private career modes as well, and I overran that save file. So unfortunately, it's changed a little bit, but the gap between ourselves and Madrid hasn't changed, and I thought that was the main thing. We were 39 to 42, that was the gap in the last episode, and now it's 41 to 44. So what changed for us was we won instead of drawing a game away against Rayo Vallecano, I think it was, when we simmed, and Real Madrid must have also won one of their games that they drew. So I think it pretty much stayed the same. Our gap between ourselves and Valencia was also similar. So without further ado, we're going to get into this game against Real Madrid at home. Let's take a look at the lineup that'll be featuring in the first El Clasico of this season. Okay, there it is, your starting 11 for this game here against Real Madrid. It's Sergio Aguero up front, Riyad Mahrez on the right with Arda Turan on the left, Roberto, Busquets and Rakitic as a midfield three with Alba, Umtiti, Martinez, Perez as a back four, and Claudio Bravo in between the sticks. The two big changes, Halilovic out for Sergio Roberto, Arda Turan coming in for Douglas Costa. Two moves that Luis Enrique's made here, and maybe a statement of intention that maybe Turan and Roberto have impressed him. Let me know what you guys think of those decisions. Do you think Luis Enrique's made the right decisions? Do you think Turan is better than Costa based on their performances so far this season? And do you think Sergio Roberto has been better than Halilovic? Two pretty big moves there, and we'll see how it pays off here at home against Real Madrid. Barcelona do not want to lose this game right here. This is the biggest game so far of our season, and we just can't afford to lose this. Even draw this, we need to win for the table, for the pride, for everything. This is the game of the season so far. So without further ado, let's get into it. Roberto early on steals it from Cruz. Plays it out wide to Riyad Mahrez, his first El Clasico. Sergio Roberto back to Riyad Mahrez, and it's a good start here. Riyad's going to try and take his men on. He's got Ivan Rakitic making a run, and he's going to go for it, and it's Toni Kroos getting in the way. The biggest game of football has started in an attacking fashion. Marcelo now bombing down the left. He's got too much strength for Riyad Mahrez, it looks like. Can Mahrez get ahead of... Oh, it's Perez. To Jesse Rodriguez. He has Toni Kroos. To Danilo. Danilo, what's he gonna do? He finds Toni Kroos, and he can be dangerous. We can't give him space to shoot like that. Riyad Mahrez now into Sergio Busquets. Busquets to Rakitic. Rakitic to Sergio Aguero. Rakitic gets in the way of the pass. Come on, lads. Let's get in sync here to Benzema. And Real Madrid now their first attack of the game. Finds Toni Kroos and it's Umtiti shutting the attack down. Who does Roberto have in support? He's still got Aguero, who's playing really in the midfield there. It's Rakitic who finds a good ball to Sergio Roberto, who's going to go for a near post. And he hits the post. Busquets now into Sergio Roberto. He's got Aguero. Aguero's got Ivan Rakitic. Rakitic sees Mahrez out wide. Mahrez into Sergio Aguero. Aguero's going to try that from outside the box. Bit audacious from Sergio. He's got Arda Turan. Turan's going to go into Sergio Roberto. Roberto now going back out wide. Very smart on the ball. Sergio Roberto can take on a man as well. Roberto's going to go all the way himself. And he's going to put that nearly past Kiko Casilla. The second attempt, just not enough power on it. Sergio Roberto. Toni Kroos into Luka Modric. He's got Karim Benzema, who goes to James Rodriguez, to Gareth Bale. Decent attack. Martinez does well. Umtiti does well. A force to James Rodriguez. And he skies that. Error into Ivan Rakitic. Rakitic now a little bit of room for an attack here. Rakitic sees Aguero outside the box and Kiko Casilla with a great save. Send this one in. Roberto's in there. And again, Casilla just doing really well to get to these. Oh, it's Gareth Bale. Here we go. The counter-attack. Luka Modric down to Karim Benzema. It's Bruno Perez trying to defend all of them at the same time. And Bruno Perez's positioning and patience paid off there. Gonna whip that in. Benzema's in there, but Umtiti's too good in the air. Just bossing him off. Gareth Bale now with a bit of room. Don't let him shoot. Umtiti putting his body on the line. First substitution here of the day, and it's Douglas Costa coming on for Sergio Roberto, with Turan moving into a central midfield position. A very interesting switch there for Luis Enrique. A bit more pace maybe on the wing with Douglas Costa. This game is still up in the air. 0-0. Both teams are playing well. Both defenses really stepping up. So this is anybody's game. GardieFIFA into Ivan Rakitic. He finds Bruno Perez. Perez into Mahrez. He's got Bruno Perez again making a good run. Perez not much support. Falls to Ivan Rakitic. He finds Busquets. Busquets to Sergio Aguero. Could this be the attack? Sergio Aguero trying to get past his man. And it's Isco with a last-ditch challenge. That's a second yellow. Bruno Perez is definitely going off here. That is definitely a second yellow. Trying to get the ball. Bruno Perez a bit too much. And in the last 3 minutes, could not having a right back potentially hurt us. Second substitution of the day, and it is Alen Halilovic coming on for Arda Turan. A bit more stamina in the midfield. Last few minutes, can Halilovic be the key that unlocks this game? Marcelo turns around. What does Marcelo have? He has Gareth Bale. And then the last couple of minutes, it's Bale who's put it in the back of the net. Could we potentially be losing here against Real Madrid? It's Martinez who gets the head out. And I don't know, I think it's Douglas Costa who just can't get behind the ball. And it's Bale too close to the keeper. Bravo doesn't get there in time. It's 1-0 to Madrid. Karim Benzema now, he's got Isco. Madrid looking to make it 2. Benzema, wow. Boys. Wow. 2-0. Great attack. Martinez steps up. Umtiti steps up. No right back, of course. And it's Benzema who makes it 2. And wow. Doesn't even matter if this goes in. Should have had this before. We're not going to celebrate. I mean, we're going to grab the ball, but there's no chance. Madrid are going to kick off and it's going to be full time. There it is, full time at the Camp Nou. I don't know why Barcelona fans are celebrating. Why are they celebrating? That makes no sense. A 2-1 loss here at the Camp Nou to Real Madrid with 3 goals in the 90th minute. And it's Madrid fans who aren't happy and Barca fans who are celebrating. I don't know why. You could ask EA, but it's a loss here at the Camp Nou against a really good Madrid side. But as you can see, I felt like we were the better team. 8 shots, 6 on target. We played more of a counter-attacking role this game, which was a bit weird. Real Madrid playing a lot of possession ball. And their defense just was really good. Ramos and Pepe had fantastic games. They really shut down Aguero. He barely had anything to do. We were playing a lot on the wings, and we just could not break them down. Oh, the fans are not going to like this, and neither is the media. Right, as you can see, it is the 3rd of January right now, and there's been some breaking news in the whole Messi, Neymar, and Suarez and all those players situation, the ban. UEFA's actually been going over the fine details of these bans, and the players have tried to appeal, and they've tried to get back in or try and shorten the term. And UEFA's made a really rash decision, a really knee-jerk reaction to a lot of fans wanting these players back, and they've actually allowed these players to play abroad. So they're not allowed to play in La Liga, but these players are now allowed to play in other countries. And that is huge news for those 5 players that were banned. People were issued 5-year bans from football. It's now a 5-year ban from the La Liga, which you guys can comment in the comment section below. Do you think that's justified or not? Do you think these players should still be able to play or not? It doesn't really affect Barcelona too much, but we weren't able to sell Messi and Suarez, so we're not going to get money for them. We are, however, able to sell Neymar now because we kept him on the books. So we feel a little bit cheated. We feel like we should have gotten the money for Messi and Suarez. Now we don't get to sell them because we released them from the club. So what do you guys think of this decision going into January? Neymar could potentially find a new club in this transfer window, if not at the start of next season, because he's still been training, he's still been conditioning and stuff like that. So what do you guys think of that decision for UEFA to now go over the details and change the ban that they initially gave? Is this just typical UEFA, typical FIFA, or do you think that that's the right decision? Let me know in the comments below. But as I said, if we get any offers for Neymar, we're going to have to think about maybe selling him and getting some money for him. Okay, we have an away game here in the Copa de España against Real Sociedad, and this is the starting lineup that we've put out. It's Kepa Arrizabalaga, Alex Vidal, Martinez, Hernandez, Montoya, Busquets, Camara, Roberto, Turan, Rodriguez, and Denis Suarez. Kind of a second string lineup, but also we have a couple of players there with a little bit of experience as well trying to guide along this team. And it looks like Lucas Hernandez got a goal in the 7th minute. That looks to maybe give us a win all the way in the 80th minute. Nothing has happened. And a second goal by Christian Teo nails on a 2-0 win away here against Real Sociedad. We have a loan offer here for one Camara. We're going to take that and we're going to let him go out on loan. We're getting into the later stages of the cup, so we're going to want to be playing better players. And Real Zaragoza is probably a pretty good place to go and get some experience under his belt. Okay, we are proud to announce that we have made a signing for next season on a pre-contract. Alberto Carbonell from Getafe is a 23-year-old centre-back. Looked pretty good, and we'll see how he does at the start of next season. Not the biggest news, but it is our first signing of January. Right, we have another sim game here against Celta Vigo in the league. It's going to be the full-strength lineup that goes up. It's Bravo, Perez, Martinez, Umtiti, Alba, Busquets, Rakitic, Halilovic, Mahrez, Aguero, and Costa. I mean, I say full strength, but who knows what that is anymore after the lineup we saw against Real Madrid. It seems like Luis Enrique has a few plays he's still unsure about halfway into the season. But going to the second half of this game, we're 2-0 up thanks to Aguero and Rakitic. Celta Vigo bring one back, which is pretty surprising. Johnny brings one back for Celta Vigo, but in the last 10 minutes, Rakitic makes it 3-1, and we pick up all 3 points here at home in the league. All right, some terrible news, guys, in that game against Celta Vigo. Riyad Mahrez is out for 4 months. That's pretty much the rest of the season, and that is huge news for us, and that is really a big loss. Riyad Mahrez just started this season off so well. This first half of the season has been so good for Riyad Mahrez, and to see him get injured like that, we just hope that that's not going to hurt him in the future at Barcelona. We just hope that he can come back from this injury fit and strong and ready to go again. But that is a massive setback for him. We can't imagine how he feels. So that's going to be big for us to see who's going to fill in that right mid position. Right, we've got the second leg here against Real Sociedad in the Copa de España. We did pick up a 2-0 win in the first leg, so this should be pretty much a closeout here, and we're going to progress. And it's Aguero who puts us up 1-0 in the 9th minute. It's pretty much the strong lineup, I think. It's Turan playing in right mid and Suarez in left mid, and Rafinha's coming into the midfield as well. So looks like Luis Enrique is not going to make any panic buys. It looks like he's just going to stick with what we have, and it's a 3-1 win here thanks to Aguero and Denis Suarez, and we do progress in the Copa de España. Another simulated game. January is pretty freaking stacked. As you can see, we're only at January 14. We've seen so many games. It's against Sevilla away, and they were a pretty decent team, so if we do drop points here, I wouldn't be surprised with Immobile putting him up 1-0. It's Douglas Costa on the left and Teo on the right. Rafinha still in midfield. Montoya coming in left back, so a few changes there. Jordi Alba suspended, which is why Montoya's there, and it's Vitolo who puts him up 2-1. Aguero drags one back Vitolo put him up 2-0. Aguero dragged one back 2-1. If we can find a second goal here, that'd be amazing. Boys, please. No, it is another loss. Right, we've moved into the quarterfinals of the Copa de España. We take on Malaga again, I think in a two-legged affair. And hopefully we can start things off well with a win here. A convincing win would be good, but we've started off the first 25 minutes 1-1. Hopefully we can get back into the game, score a couple more goals. There's no reason we shouldn't be beating Malaga here. Douglas Costa puts us up 2-1 in the 56th. Denis Suarez puts us up 3-1, and that is pretty good. The away goal kind of hurts, but I don't think we'll lose by more than 2 goals away at Malaga, so that's not bad in my opinion. Right, yet another simulated game here in January at home at Almeria, and it looks like so far Luis Enrique is going to stick with the wingers he has, and he's going to put trust in Turan and Christian Teo to cover that right mid position. I think Sergio Busquets is, missing the first game of the season due to suspension. That's why he's not playing. It's Rafinha and Roberto along with Halilovic in a midfield 3, and it looks like it's going to be a 3-0 win here at home against Almeria. There we go. Hopefully that brings a bit more confidence going into this away game against Malaga. That is what our youth squad looks like at the moment. It is really starting to fill up. We're going to have to maybe sign a couple of these guys, but that is what it looks like at the moment. Again, with the whole not saving thing, I don't know what changed, but I'm just going to go through them all. This recent monthly scouting update, we got a few decent Portuguese guys with great potential, so I'm hoping to see how they come along. And as you can see, there were a few good ones there. Pause and take a look at them if you want. But some of these guys we're going to sign pretty soon to free up more space in the youth squad. But our youth squad is really coming along. There's a few decent talents here, and it'll be good to see how they develop. Right, here's the second leg against Malaga. It's going to be, I believe, the full strength lineup. Christian Teo coming in a right mid position, and he scores in the first 5 minutes. Go on, Teo. Putting us in the semi-finals of the Copa de España. We are progressing through this cup pretty well. Okay, and the final game of January is an away game against Villarreal. I hope you guys don't mind my decision of only playing one game in January, just because there were so many games to get through, and I thought, you know what, let's just simulate them, because honestly, it's the transfer window. I'm trying to get some deals done. Believe me, I am. There's not really any players that, really fit Barca at the moment that are available. It's Musacho who's put up Villarreal up 1-0, and I'd be pretty distraught if they won. Aguero brings one back. I'd be happy with a draw, to be honest with you. Martinez is injured, and I hope that's not too bad. It's a 1-1 draw. Let's take a look at that injury. Please don't be too serious. We really need Martinez. Right, Martinez's injury is for 8 weeks, so that's about 2 months. Not the best. That could have been worse. Maybe we'll sign a replacement centre-back. There's a few days left in the transfer window. As always, I'll keep you guys updated on any news. I can confirm that Lucas Digne and Andre Gomez have signed the deal in principle. It's not official, but the players have said that they've committed to next season in the summer. We will be signing both those players. So I can confirm that we do pretty much have those 2 players. It's just whether or not the clubs still agree on that deal at the end of the season. So hopefully that is still a thing, and hopefully we'll be able to sign both of them. But the players have both said that they're willing to move. The clubs have said they're both willing to let them go. So, right, and I can confirm we have signed a centre-back, actually a Barcelona Academy player and a Barcelona B player that moved to Villarreal, coming back to Barcelona for a £1 million deal. Edgar I. That wraps up today's episode, guys, and that is how the league table looks at the moment. We have a game in hand over Real Madrid, but it is a 10-point lead, so even if we win, it'll be a 7-point lead. Valencia and Atletico Madrid make up the rest of the top 4. Good to see Atletico back in the top 4. This good January must have been a really good month for them, getting back in and making some waves and getting back in that top 4. That's very good to see from Atletico Madrid. And of course, as I said before, today might not have been the most entertaining episode other than the game against Real Madrid. There was a lot of simulating. I didn't really get many deals done in January, but as I said before, January isn't really a month where we're meant to do a lot of deals. Luis Enrique didn't want to buy just because of injuries. There was no point in bringing in a really talented right midfielder, because when Riyad Mahrez comes back, that person's going to be then the backup right midfielder, then Turan drops a spot, then Teo drops a spot, and then everybody gets unhappy. Same thing with having Martinez. We brought in a a backup centre back, and Lucas Hernandez will be playing as our main centre back, along with Samuel Umtiti for the couple of months that Javi Martinez is injured. So going forward, it'll be interesting to see how this team performs with the injuries. We'll see how we do over the next couple of months, and this last half of the season might be a tough one, and we might not be challenging for what we thought we would be at the start of January. January really did hurt us. Results, injuries, everything kind of hurt us. So we're really in a pretty difficult position right now. I would say that realistically speaking, we should just be looking to have the top 4 finish that we thought we'd have at the start of the season, and then maybe go as far as we can in the Champions League. I don't really think that we'll be winning anything this season, but that really wasn't expected at the start of the season. So that's it for today's episode. As I said before, if you did enjoy, make sure you leave a like. I hope you did enjoy today's video. I hope you had a good day. I'll see you guys in the next one very soon. Keep it real.